Welcome to Breaking the Silence, the podcast where real conversations meet real healing. We're your hosts, Raynea and Kelli, two women who know what it's like to walk through loss, face hard truths, and come out stronger on the other side. Together, we're breaking down walls, sharing stories, and talking openly about everything from grief and healing to love, faith, and relationships. This is a safe space for laughter, honesty, and those Me Too moments that remind us we're not alone. So grab a cup of coffee, pull up a chair, and let's journey through life together. Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to Breaking the Silence. I'm Raynea.
And I'm Kelli.
Alrighty, Kelli. I feel like we have not really talked since your trip, so whatever you want to share, I want to hear about it.
For Mom's Weekend?
Yeah.
So, we ended up having a great time. So the dynamics was my stepdaughter, me, and my stepdaughter's mom. And it was kind of funny because the rooms were so expensive. You know, of course, they know when events are going to be going on. So I think that they upped the rates and it was so expensive. For 2 nights, it was going to be $1,200. It was $600 a night. And so my stepdaughter's mom was like, hey, if you don't think it's weird, because we have a friendship. She was like, if you don't think it's weird, could we just share a room? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So her husband had actually got her a room, unbeknownst to her. She wasn't sure. She thought he had, but then she found out it was expensive. So I found one that was a little cheaper, but I think I know why. So when I got there first and I FaceTimed my husband and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, she is going to kill me. Anyway, long story short, it really was memorable and it was pretty funny because, we really made it work. And by the time we got everything situated the way we wanted it and stuff, it was kind of cozy in there. So we pretend like that was our dorm life for the weekend. And it was really good. Got to meet a lot of my stepdaughter's friends that are in the sorority, and some of the moms were really nice. And, just kind of got to see her life there. And we did the permanent jewelry. So that was kind of fun. And it's just, it's just you can do a ring or a necklace or a bracelet. And it doesn't have a clasp, they solder it together.
Right.
Yeah. So we did that. And
that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So did you all get matching? Is that what you mean? Or
yeah.
Okay. Oh, how fun.
Yeah, so it was really good. And some people there, they, you're not sure how some people are going to take that, gosh, that's kind of weird, you three getting along or whatever. But so many people were so receptive to it. The girl that did our permanent jewelry, she was like, that's so amazing. She was telling her, she's like, you're so lucky, because she said she doesn't have that in her family, with her mom and stepmom and stuff like that. And it just makes sense, and it just, because I would have understood if we didn't have that relationship, that of course her mom would have been invited. Hands down.
Right.
But it was just nice because, I have a son, and then even my stepson, I would never have experienced anything like this with a girl if it wasn't for Sophia, so I was really grateful that she invited me to be a part of that. So yeah, it was a good time. And it's just amazing to see, well, all of our kids grow, but just her, because she was just so shy, and I'm just so proud of her. She just is so coming into her own, and it's, just to see a peek inside her world. And it's kind of sad in a way too, because you're just you're growing up. She just is becoming her own, but it's so great at the same time. So anyway, it was a really good weekend. And so
I love that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and jump into things.
Okay.
So, we are starting a brand new month, and honestly, I have been so excited about this one because we're talking about this piece that it wasn't very long ago that I didn't understand. So, this whole month of May, we're going to be talking about this, and I thought healing was just about a lot of times changing the way we think, our thoughts, like our
Mm-hmm.
thought process. And that is a piece of it. It absolutely is. Um, but I think at times, sometimes you can think if I know better, then I'll just do better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what I didn't realize was my body was still carrying everything I had been through,
Mm. And that's so real.
right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so this whole month, we're going to be talking about your nervous system and like why you react the way you do,
Mm-hmm.
how trauma actually lives in your body, and how faith fits into all of that. Because I think it's very important for me that we look at it from there too, because
Mm-hmm.
God is a part of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, because healing isn't just willpower. We can't just white knuckle things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we might be able to do that for a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to last long term. It really ultimately is about feeling safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so today we're starting with this. You're not overreacting. You're dysregulated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I feel like this is something so many women need to hear because I know I've been through this before many times and still go through this. Like to ask myself, why am I reacting like this?
Yes, absolutely. And I want to say this up front, right from the beginning, and make it so super clear. You're not too much.
Mm-hmm.
If you have ever felt like I'm too emotional, I'm too sensitive, I'm too difficult,
Mm-hmm.
or I just need to calm down,
Mm-hmm.
what's actually happening is your nervous system's trying to protect you.
Mm. So when you say that, what does that actually mean?
It means your body learned from your past experiences,
Mm-hmm.
loss, inconsistency, feeling abandoned, whatever that is, even if it you learned in past experiences, it was never safe for me to express how I feel,
Mm.
or um yeah, that, or if I express how I feel, that's being weak. Your nervous system took all of that in
Mm-hmm.
and created patterns to try to keep you safe.
Mm.
So now, when something feels even a little bit similar, your body reacts like this is happening all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It immediately goes back to past memories. And we definitely aren't going to get all technical and like the amygdala and all that because, I just want it to be super relatable for
Mm-hmm.
everyone, but yeah, your amygdala still stores all your it's your memory bank, and so your brain is like, wait a minute, this seems similar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, so this might sound like a dumb question, although we know no question is dumb.
that is very true.
But so myself and listeners may want to know, so why does this feel so intense even when even when it seems small? It still seems like bigger than what it is.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad you said that, first of all, because you're right. There are no dumb questions. And these are exactly the type of questions that our listeners are wondering about, that people are curious about.
Yeah.
So it's important for us to talk about it. So it feels intense because it's not just about right now. Honestly, a lot of times it has very little to do with right now. Your nervous system is pulling from the past. So when someone pulls away, or even like their energy shifts, your body doesn't just see this moment. It remembers every moment that felt like being left, not chosen, not safe.
So it just kind of stacks, or like just kind of snowballs.
Yeah, absolutely. So every time, every experience that we had in our past, like there's a notch that we remember. Like it's like in your brain, you've got this filing cabinet, right? And so here we store, okay, here's this memory that it happened. Okay, wait, no, here's another one, and here's another one. And it keeps confirming. And so, yes, it absolutely stacks.
Yeah.
And that's why our reaction can feel bigger than the situation, because we've got this huge filing system here of these past memories that confirmed it, right?
Right.
And it might be this really tiny thing over here, but in our brain, it feels like this huge thing. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
So, it's not because you're overreacting. It's because your body is trying to protect you from the pain it already knows.
Yeah, that feeling like I've been here before.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to be here again.
Yeah, like when you can say to yourself, like, this feels super familiar,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think it's even sometimes in the moment, knowing you don't want to react like that, but it's just like in the moment, it's hard to not. So
because in that moment, you're dysregulated.
Right. Yeah. And I think, and not to really go off topic, but I think we've talked about this before, because I think you and I have even talked about this, and that makes so much sense, because then once I've stepped away from that, or kind of like the smoke is cleared or whatever, it's like, then I can see clearly again. It's almost like you snap out of it, like, oh, everything, makes sense. You can articulate,
Well, what you're saying there makes complete sense. And I sort of want to share a little bit of why without going super into like all the things. But like I already said, the amygdala part of the brain is where we store all our memories, the past memories and everything. And then the cortex, the front part of the brain, that is when you're dysregulated, it goes offline. Like it literally, it's like it just turned off a switch. And it's like, that's your logical part of your brain is what I'm trying to say. So when you're calm, like how you're saying, well, then like later, like you have some space, you pause, like then you feel more like, okay, I can think this through and all that. That's because your neocortex came back online then, the logical part of your brain. And when it's shut off, like when you're dysregulated and it's shut off and you can't access the logical part of your brain right in those moments, Yeah, it's like it all went out the window and you're just absolutely reacting and responding from what your amygdala remembers.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's when I tell Tom, hey, can we come back to this? I'll be like, I'm offline. I'm offline.
You absolutely need to do. Can we take a pause so we both can regulate and revisit this? And we're going to talk about that here, things we can do too. So
so this connects so much to attachment too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. This is where I think things start to really click for people. Because first of all, your attachment style is not your personality. It's not. So I want to just people to wipe that out. Like, oh, this just is who I am. This is my personality. It isn't. It is a style. It is a way that you learn to attach, but it's a pattern that can be healed and we can learn new behaviors. So,
but in the moment, it does feel like that. You know, exactly what you said. This is not the because you and I have talked about this, and not that I'm just like, well, that's just who I am, but you do feel like that's who you are. And without kind of knowing these tools and what we're talking about, to see it from a different perspective.
Yes. So that's perfect what you just said there. It's just that you don't have the right tools yet. So once you have the tools, then that's when you can begin to change it. And then I also want to say our brains are neuroplastic, which means, yes, we have pathways in our brain of what we know. And of course, over time, they get engraved deeper, like we've done it so many times. But your brain is neuroplastic, which means we can create new neural pathways. We are not forever like this. We can change. We are not a tree that with roots in the ground that it's not possible to move. And so anyways, so we just need the right tools is what,
right.
And until we have those, then yes, it very much feels like we're sort of stuck in this pattern because we don't have the tools yet. So, but we're going to give some tools today. So your nervous system's strategy for connection. I'm sorry, let me back that up. When I said earlier, so your attachment style is not your personality. It's your nervous system's strategy for connection. So how we connect to people. So if you're anxious, you move toward people to feel safe. And if you're a dismissive avoidant, you create space to feel safe.
So neither one is wrong. It's just protection.
Absolutely. And I will also say, because we will talk about fearful avoidant in here too, with them, they can flip back and forth between wanting closeness and wanting space, depending on either the person or the situation. So you're right. Like none of them are wrong. It is all about protection and how each attachment style, seeks protection basically.
Right.
And I think when you start to see it that way, you stop shaming yourself. And you start getting curious instead,
Yeah. Okay. So I want to ask this for the listeners. What if I know all this, but I still react the same way?
I think this is the part that no one talks about enough. Knowing something does not mean your body feels safe yet. So a lot of people can have awareness of maybe they discover their attachment style and they're like, well, I'm just dismissive avoidant. That's just who I am. So they have the awareness of it, but without implementing the tools You're right. They are still going to stay in those same patterns because you still don't feel safe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you can know, I mean, you can even tell yourself things like, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to panic, and still feel the panic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a perfect example of that, I think, is like maybe somebody that has, well, I guess we are sort of talking about that, but say somebody has a panic attack or anxiety attack or whatever, and they might be trying to tell themselves all the things like, I'm okay. I don't need to
Mm-hmm.
have a panic attack. I don't need to be have an anxiety attack, and yet
Mm-hmm.
still have one, right?
Right. Yeah.
Um, because healing doesn't happen just in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
That is a piece of it, absolutely, but that is
Right.
not the whole puzzle. That's not the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens when your body starts to experience safety over and over again.
Mm-hmm. So it's not failure.
Not at all. It's your nervous system asking for something different.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like this is where people are going to see themselves. Can we talk about how this actually shows up for different attachment styles?
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is so important because you see it, when you
Mm-hmm.
see it, once you see it, you can start to shift it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lean anxious, this might look like you don't hear from someone and your mind starts racing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the urge to text again and again.
Mm-hmm.
You start wondering if you did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that tightness in your chest or your stomach is in knots.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels urgent.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to fix it right now. That's how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That urgency feeling.
Exactly. And that's your nervous system saying, don't lose the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Do something.
Mm-hmm.
But what it actually needs is safety,
Mm-hmm.
not action.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's kind of like a vicious cycle, because I feel like the more you try to talk yourself, it's like a spiral, I think. The more you try to talk yourself out of it, you can't, you know.
Well, I will say it absolutely isn't easy in the beginning. When you
Mm-hmm.
first start implementing these tools, it is
Mm-hmm.
very hard
Mm-hmm.
because, again, like we've talked about, we've done these things for years and years and years of our lives, right? If we are the person that's always tried to repair the relationship or always try to reestablish connection
Mm-hmm.
or try to fix things, like that
Yeah.
feels normal to us, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when we are going to choose to actively do something different, of
Mm-hmm.
course, like it feels so super foreign to us at first. And our body is like, what are you doing? Like,
Mm-hmm.
fix this now.
Yeah, like you're short circuiting.
Right. But I will say,
Mm-hmm.
the more that you implement these tools,
Mm-hmm.
the more your body is like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
we're okay. And I feel safe within myself. Like, basically, I was thinking about this as I was working on the notes for this.
Mm-hmm.
When we are anxious, we are, what was the word I thought of today? I don't think I'm going to use the right word right now. We're outsourcing our peace to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like we need someone else to give us peace. We
Right.
need someone else to calm us, to make us feel safe, to make us feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when we practice these tools enough, all of a sudden then you learn, I feel safe with me.
Right.
Like I can come back home to me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is going to have you like you have you, you know? Like,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, so
Right. Yeah.
um
Yeah, I agree.
so you are absolutely right. It is very hard in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so with regulation here,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to feel simple, like we just talked about. When I tell you this, it's super simple what I'm going to share with you,
Yeah.
but not easy whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard at first. It will get easier.
Mm-hmm.
So pause before reaching out again and just sit with yourself
Mm-hmm.
and, put your hand on your chest and just slow your breathing. I mean, those are some really simple, basic ones. Again, not easy, but basic first steps of
Yeah.
just taking a step away from it. I'm not reaching out again. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
sit with myself and I'm going to regulate my breathing. I'm going to calm my breathing. And of course, I can give you other ideas too of things you can do. You can journal. You can,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you need to do, like journal, go walking, like lots of different things. But there's some easy first steps to take.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, I shouldn't have said easy. Easy isn't the word. There are some simple ones, but they don't feel
Yeah.
easy in the beginning.
Right.
But they do become easier. And they do
Mm-hmm.
become, when you keep doing it, they really become like second nature. Because then
Mm-hmm.
you just really honestly start checking in with yourself, like, what's coming up for me right now, you know?
Right.
Like sitting there with that and not
Mm-hmm.
needing someone else to fix that.
Right.
And remind yourself, I'm safe, even
Mm-hmm.
if they're not responding right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're teaching your body that space does not equal abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, that changes everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what about a fearful avoidant? Because I know that one can feel confusing.
Yes, because it's
Mm-hmm.
both, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want connection, and
Mm-hmm.
you're also afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
So this can look like feeling close to someone and then
Mm-hmm.
suddenly pulling back, overthinking everything they said, wanting reassurance, but not really trusting it when you get it,
Mm-hmm.
or feeling overwhelmed and then shutting down.
Mm-hmm. So that push-pull.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And here, your nervous system is going back and forth between come closer and this doesn't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, regulation here looks like learning how to stay,
Mm-hmm.
not forcing yourself to be all in, but not disappearing either.
Mm-hmm. But what does it actually look like in the moment?
It might look like saying, I feel overwhelmed,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to shut down. Taking a break without cutting the person off. I mean, I think it is absolutely okay to
Mm-hmm.
say, I need space,
Mm-hmm.
but I will return to this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, letting yourself receive reassurance without dismissing it
Mm-hmm.
and coming back to, I can feel uncomfortable and still be safe.
Mm.
Because we've talked a lot, I think, even here recently, like with you starting a new job and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
New things are uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Uncomfortable does not mean bad.
Right.
Uncomfortable just means new and different.
Mm-hmm.
So you're building tolerance for connection without running from it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but what about a dismissive avoidant?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
this one is quieter,
Mm-hmm.
um, but still just as important. And well, we won't go into that right now. But this one can look like feeling overwhelmed when someone gets too close,
Mm-hmm.
wanting space, but not always communicating it,
Mm-hmm.
shutting down emotionally, and telling yourself, I don't need anyone.
Mm. That independent piece.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I don't know anything about that.
Neither one of us do.
A blessing and a curse.
Yes.
Mm.
But underneath it is a nervous system that learned it's safer to rely on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That needing someone isn't safe.
Mm-hmm.
Often, your nervous system's telling you getting too close only ends in hurt. And that sharing your feelings is weakness.
Mm.
So when connection deepens with someone, your body says, this isn't safe.
Mm-hmm.
Pull back.
Yeah. So, so then how do they begin to regulate?
I would say, especially for the dismissive avoidant,
Mm-hmm.
they need to do it gently. I mean, really, like not forcing connection,
Mm-hmm.
but allowing small moments of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing one feeling instead of none.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes dismissive avoidance can be really good at being walled up, right? They are really good at protecting themselves. I think of them with like their armor on, to fully protect.
Mm-hmm.
And so just sharing one feeling instead of not sharing anything at all,
Right.
staying present and the conversation a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
They do not like conflict, and they don't like talking about feelings and stuff. So if that stuff starts to come up in a conversation, they want to exit
Mm-hmm.
quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So just
Yeah.
staying a little bit longer
Mm-hmm.
and slowly building that capacity a little bit at a time, because that's
Yeah.
ultimately what it is. It's a capacity issue. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have the capacity. They haven't learned the
Yeah.
capacity yet to start to express some feelings or to stay in the conversation a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is letting someone support you in a small way.
Mm-hmm.
Something so small. I could give you a perfect example of this. Of here recently, one of my older sons wanted to do something for me.
Mm-hmm.
And, the independent part of me and also be a mom wanted to be like, no, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
You take care of you and your future, and I'm okay. I got myself,
Yeah.
But he said, but it makes me really happy doing these things for the people that mean the most to me in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, how are you going to take that from him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is bringing him joy to take care of his mom in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, yeah, I could do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But why would I, that was also me letting somebody do something kind for me,
Right.
So, and then reminding yourself that connection is not a threat.
Mm-hmm.
You're teaching your body that closeness can be safe too.
Mm-hmm. So no matter where somebody falls in any of these categories, the goal isn't to change overnight, right?
No, I don't think
Mhm.
that's very realistic, right?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be if we could just snap our fingers? But like I
Mm-hmm.
said, like we have learned these
Mm-hmm.
patterns for many, many years, right?
Right.
So the goal is not perfection.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is safety. Secure attachment isn't, I never get triggered.
Mm-hmm.
It's recognizing what's coming up in your
Mm-hmm.
body is old wounds and
Mm-hmm.
saying, I know how to come back to myself when I get triggered.
Mm-hmm. And that feels so much more doable.
Yes, I think when we are just very patient and gentle with ourselves and knowing that, yeah, we are going to get triggered, but we can learn how to come back to ourselves.
Right.
So, wherever you saw yourself today,
Mm-hmm.
just start there. One pause, one breath,
Mm-hmm.
one different response. Doing one thing different from how you normally respond. That's how you move towards secure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is a really important one. So where does God meet us in all this?
Mm. Yeah, I think this part matters so much. Real
Mhm.
quick, though, before we go there, I do want to add in one thing that just happened to pop in my brain that I think is important to mention.
Mhm.
So, as we're gently sitting with ourselves in these different places, whatever our attachment style is, and whatever you see in yourself there,
Mhm.
like for the anxious, that really is, like I said, learning to just sit with yourself for a little bit longer and not
Mhm.
seeing that space as abandonment. And for the ones that lean, whether it's fearful avoidant or dismissive avoidant, again, with fearful avoidant, depending on which way you're leaning. So if you're feeling anxious in the moment, okay,
Mhm.
then you're going to practice those things that we just talked about with the anxious.
Mhm.
If you're feeling more avoidant, then you're going to practice this that I'm going to share
Mhm.
um, about the dismissive avoidant. Just the small connections that you can allow somebody
Mhm.
to connect. So like the anxious wants to come close, right? But
Yeah.
you want to learn to connect more with yourself because like I said, you're used to outsourcing it.
Mhm. Yeah.
The dismissive avoidant or the fearful avoidant that leans avoidant
Mhm.
um, is used to doing it on their own. I'm good,
Mhm.
super independent, want their autonomy, all those things,
Mhm.
want to be independent and not need anybody. They actually need to allow a little bit more than normal, not a
Mhm.
ton, a little
Yeah.
bit more, just small pieces of that connection to start to like build that capacity.
Mhm.
Does that all make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
And,
want to
and
make sure.
oh no, I think it absolutely does. And I think, and I'm speaking from experience and for myself too, because, and I think, and we may touch on this later too, but just give yourself grace and just be patient with yourself because there's so many times that I'm like, I still didn't get it right this time, and you're like, okay, next time, next time. But again, like, we were saying, until you really have those tools or just feeling safe and, over time and everything, because, yeah, I will get even discouraged with myself as well sometimes because I'm like, I do feel myself responding differently to situations, but still, again, yeah, it's not 100%, and because we're not perfect anyway, um, but I guess yeah, if there's if you don't get it right, just know next time, just because just don't get discouraged with yourself, like with anything. And like say, it takes practice. And as many years as you probably have felt this way, it took that many years to get to there. It's going to take that much more time to rewire your brain.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's baby steps. I think it's being patient with ourselves and knowing we are human. But also that it absolutely is doable. I know I am so much more secure than I was just 4 years ago, 3 years ago, like
Right.
so different. And that doesn't mean I'm not trying to say I get it right every time. I'm saying I'm way more secure. And of course, there are still moments of different things that we're learning, but it's the baby steps. Just keep practicing these things that, I've shared some of the things. These aren't, of course, all the things you can do, but really, that really comes down to the basics of it. Okay, so let's come back to talking about where God meets us in this, because this is so important. I think because we can start to understand the nervous system, but still feel frustrated with ourselves, like we were just talking about, right?
Yes. Yep.
But here is the shift for me and what I want to share with you guys. God created our nervous system. He designed our bodies with the ability to protect ourselves. And I'm hoping that once I share this, that this will just be like the biggest light bulb moment, that listeners are just like, wow, So he designed our bodies to protect us. So when you feel activated, when your heart is racing, when your thoughts are spiraling, that's not a flaw. That's a system he created trying to keep you safe. And one of the ways that I really started to understand this, and this is what really made it click for me, is when your nervous system gets activated, it's almost like your body thinks a bear is chasing you.
Wow.
So, and what are you going to do? What would you do if a bear was chasing you? You would run, or you would scream, or you would hide, or you would do whatever, And so your body's just reacting in that way, like as if a bear is chasing.
Right.
So, like, there isn't danger right now, or your body's thinking there is danger right now, and I have to get safe.
Right.
So your body responds fast. Like, that's not the time for your logical part of your brain to be like, oh, what should we do? Let me think this through. Let's talk it out for a little bit.
Right.
No, your brain is like, we need to get somewhere and we need to get safe now. So your brain is thinking, I need to do something. I need to fix this. I need to get away.
Yeah.
And depending on your attachment style, that might look like moving towards someone, running away, or completely shutting down and going in like a freeze state, But here is the truth. Most of the time, there isn't actually a bear. Believe it or not.
Hopefully not.
I don't know the last time I've had a bear actually chase me. It's just old programming. It's old pain. Old memories. Stored in your body and your brain. And your nervous system is just trying to protect you from feeling that again.
So the reaction makes sense, even if that situation doesn't match.
Exactly. And this is where faith comes in for me. Because God doesn't wait for me to figure it out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
He meets me right there
Mm-hmm.
in the moment when my body feels like it's not safe.
Mm-hmm.
Not after, not like once I calm down. He's right there in it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of judging myself, I've learned to pause and come back to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that might look like saying, God, I'm feeling this feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or my body feels like something is wrong. But I know you're here.
Mm-hmm.
And then gently reminding myself, there is no bear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm safe right now. And I'm held.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really powerful and comforting at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And the more I do that, my body starts to learn that it doesn't have to react the same way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not actually danger. This isn't the same thing as the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not alone in it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so what can someone actually do when they start to feel this happening?
I'm going to make this super simple because when your nervous system is activated, like we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
you do not need complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Complicated is not going to work. You just need something you can come back to.
Mm-hmm.
So this can look one of two ways. If your faith feels accessible in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
come back to God. God, I feel this.
Mm-hmm.
My body feels unsafe. Remind me that I'm held right now. And just sit there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But if that feels hard to access in the moment, you can still meet your body right where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Pause before reacting. And I know that can be challenging, but we can say, can we take a time out?
Mm-hmm.
I need, we can pause.
Yeah.
Put your hand on your chest, like we talked about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and take a slow breath. And just remind yourself, I'm safe right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is no bear.
Mm. And that's so grounding.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love I just sit now and just do this and just hold my hand on my chest and just come home to me,
Mm-hmm.
Like remind myself, my little inner child, you're
Mm-hmm.
safe with me.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
because what you're doing in those moments, when we
Mm-hmm.
do those things, is interrupting the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
You're showing your body that this moment right here is different from the past.
Mm-hmm.
When you interrupt that pattern, that's what you're going to show your body.
Right.
And over time, those small pauses start to create real safety inside you.
Mm-hmm. And that actually feels kind of doable, really.
Yeah. I mean, like, so it's, simple
Mm-hmm.
three steps. Just
Mm-hmm.
pause. Put your hand on your chest and take a slow
Mm-hmm.
breath and
Mm-hmm.
remind yourself, I'm safe right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bear. I'll give you another analogy here in a minute that just popped in my head talking about the bear, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, that is the goal for it to be doable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not perfection,
Mm-hmm.
just practice
Mm-hmm.
one moment at a time.
Yeah. And I think, have we talked about this before? I feel like if we haven't talked about this, I've heard this before too. And I'm so bad about doing this myself because it is so hard in the moment sometimes, but to even, and unless that was what you were just kind of referencing, is just to practice that when there's not conflict or you're not feeling that feeling. You know what I mean? Because when it's so intense, it's hard to remember that. So to just kind of like practice those steps when there is calmness or even by yourself, just to kind of get in the practice of doing that.
For sure. I think that is very beneficial for you to even do it on your own to start getting used to doing that.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Like when you're in the midst of it, especially if it's a
Mm-hmm.
heated conflict or something, that is
Mm-hmm.
very hard. But maybe that was a conversation that you two have beforehand, like when you're calm right
Mm-hmm.
now, like, hey, let's be committed to when we start to feel ourselves, because we know when we start to feel ourselves getting worked up, whether it's with a partner or a teenager or child, whatever, we
Mm-hmm.
know when we start to feel like, oh, like I'm feeling a little dysregulated right now, like
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
blow a gasket or, whatever, maybe not blow a gasket, but,
Yeah.
um,
Or maybe.
or maybe, but to be able to like ahead of time say, can we commit to each
Mm-hmm.
other that when we start to see it going there to like remind each other, hey, let's take a time out.
Right.
Let's revisit this at in 2 hours or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I mean, it shouldn't be days. We don't
Right.
avoid things for days.
Right.
Let's come back to this in 2 hours or let's if it's an
Mm-hmm.
intense conversation, maybe can we revisit this tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
Or, give a time that you're coming back to it. And maybe just even reminding each other, like, can we support each other in that way to say, hey, it
Mm-hmm.
sort of feels like this might not be a productive conversation right now.
Right.
Let's pause and come
Mm-hmm.
back to it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned to practice a lot with my teenagers, especially one in particular that I knew like the conversation probably was not going to be productive.
Mm-hmm.
And I would let them know, like, we're going to have to like revisit this
Mm-hmm.
later when we're calm. This would not
Right.
be productive for either one of us right now.
Right.
And that really is not, that is a loving thing to do
Mm-hmm. Right.
because nobody wants to feel that way and it isn't beneficial. And
Mm-hmm.
things might get said that aren't really meant and
Right.
all the different things, And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just so much better to take that time.
Right.
But I also wanted to say, just because we were talking about like feeling like a bear is coming after us, which
Mm-hmm.
all the attachment styles know in their own way feel like that's what that is, like
Mm-hmm.
that there's a bear coming after them. But it's also interesting. Somebody once shared, um, they are actually dismissive avoidant. And so it is very hard for a
Mm-hmm.
dismissive avoidant, and it can be hard for a fearful avoidant too, depending on how you lean or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
to um, have conflict or even to like repair after conflict or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so interesting. A dismissive avoidant said to them, it felt like if they were to return to a conversation and talk
Mm-hmm.
about something, because they would much rather just sweep it under the rug, never talk about it again.
Right.
Um, it feels to them like they are coming at a chainsaw, like you're holding a chainsaw and you're
Mm-hmm.
asking them to come straight towards that chainsaw while it's going.
Wow.
Like that is how intense it is in their body.
Yeah.
And so again, like I hope like these analogies of like the bear chasing you or
Mm-hmm.
the um chainsaw just puts it into a little bit of perspective of what your brain and your body is feeling and how
Mm-hmm.
intense that all is, and to have compassion with yourself.
Right.
And also to remind yourself there is no bear chasing me. And if I
Mm-hmm.
do try to repair this conversation, if I do try to reestablish connection, there's no
Mm-hmm.
chainsaw there.
Right.
So hopefully that is beneficial to hear.
Yeah.
So, um, if there is anything that you take from today, I hope it's this. You're not overreacting.
Mm-hmm.
Your body is trying to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
And healing is learning how to feel safe again.
Mm. Yeah. And we're going to keep talking about this all month.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, we're going to go deeper into faith in the nervous system and how
Mm-hmm.
those two actually work together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to talk about how trauma lives in the body
Mm-hmm.
and how God meets us there.
Mm-hmm.
So stay with us
Mm-hmm.
because this month, this is, I think, really where things start to shift.
Mm-hmm.
Before we wrap up, Kelli, is there anything else that you want to share?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we've kind of touched bases on everything. Just, just practice this outside of conflict and by yourself. And if you don't get it right, even the first 10 times, just stay with it. Because it's beneficial for yourself. It's beneficial for relationships because, I'll speak for myself, having like trauma and things from so many different relationships, you take that stuff with you into not just relationships, but probably friendships and other relationships of just feeling, dysregulated. And so, yeah, I think just to, continue to listen because I know the goal in these podcasts are just to help people heal and just be the best versions of themselves.
Absolutely. And I think you did have a really good point earlier. And I would really encourage that, like starting to do that. Like maybe even tonight when you're sitting watching TV tonight,
Mm-hmm.
even just sitting and putting your hands on your chest and just like nobody has to know anything. You might just sit there with one hand on your chest and you're just coming. I mean, I don't put both hands all the time. It's normally one hand, but
Yeah.
you're just sitting there while you're watching TV and
Mm-hmm.
there is something about that, I promise you. And it doesn't mean no one's going to be like, why is she sitting in there with her hand on her chest, And I'm sure Tom don't care even if you were, like.
He'd probably be like, are you having a heart attack? What's going on?
Do I need to call 911?
What's wrong with you?
Are you getting sappy over there or something? So anyways, I would encourage you, like just even
Mm-hmm.
doing some of that on your own, like when I journal and stuff and I'm doing prayer and Bible, I sit and do that now. It has nothing to do with like maybe being in a situation with someone right at that moment. That's even me just coming back to myself even then,
Yeah.
So, okay, with that said, I will also, if you need a place, just a quiet, calm place to regulate your nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
to feel grounded, to connect with God, I created something called 10 Minutes to Feel Held. And it is both an audio that you can do those things and also a guide that you will receive that you can have for yourself as well to sort of work through things.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like you need that, a place just to connect and regulate and ground yourself, I will put the link in the show notes. It is my gift to you. It is absolutely free. And I hope that it blesses you and serves you well. That is the intention of it. And so otherwise, we send you off with so much love, and we will talk with you next week. Thank you for spending time with us on Breaking the Silence. We hope today's conversation brought you comfort, hope, and maybe even a little laughter. Because healing doesn't have to happen alone. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who might need it too. And be sure to subscribe so that you do not miss a moment with Kelli and I. Until next time, remember, you're not alone, and there's always space for you here.